So, what are my opinions of the revelations at SummerSlam? A lot of people put a lot of their blood, sweat, and tears into everything here. I myself have been here since day one. There's only 6 or 7 of us, and as of All Out, there'll be one less. It's bittersweet, obviously, for many reasons that I'll mention, but it's going to be the greatest and worst night of my career. But there's a lot coming full circle. After SummerSlam, I was going through too much emotion with my family there, with the battle with Lee, and with the momentum and the opportunity finally in front of me to not only want a title shot for the World Championship, but also be able to legitimately make a case for one. I don't know if it's because Bomber's no longer the one in power calling the shots with the board and hero now and whatnot, but here we are and I have one. And I'd like to think that it's because of what I've done this year. There's been many who have come and gone in that same time frame. While I've had blood feuds with Redhead 12, with JRPL beating him back to back after Money in the Bank became his, including making him pass out in a submission match, going to war with Beer Me, beating the Warden, beating Tom to win the Road Warrior title, and then losing it 5 days later to Spraying Tigress, and then, of course, defeating Lee with, yes, a no contest with Cassius thrown in. Nothing can ever be easy. If it was easy, it wouldn't be worth doing. After everything I've done, being undefeated, yes, there's a no contest, but being undefeated on main shows and also winning the Road Warrior title during that, everybody else that's come and gone has had multiple reigns. Titles have been traded. Contenders risen and fallen or dethroned and then dethroned themselves. But the one constant during all of that has been me. Jdionio, I beat you twice. You wanted to face me for the longest time, and we did face off, and you lost. Then you wanted me on a main show, and we got a submission match, and you lost. And then you went on to win the World Championship. And I told you back then, when I beat you, and you're holding that world title, you know I'll be coming for you. I don't think anybody expected it to literally be the first shot when you won it, but I'm not going to complain. The interesting thing about it is I'm on a better roll than the world champion. I main evented SummerSlam with Lee, which, well, there were 2 world title matches and 2 new champions, and we still main evented it. Now, let's not get things mixed up. Bomber got screwed. Yeah, he did some screwy things and got what he deserved in a lot of cases, but he did legitimately get screwed over here. And not for nothing, there is loyalty involved in that, and you don't want to see that happen. I want vengeance on the UVC for what they did to Lee originally. Lee, I'm done facing, but I'm sure there's always that chance where he wants another shot. And Redhead got her nose back in things again. Cassius and I now have unfinished business. And of course, Beer Me and I want to have our 3rd submission match. But not every story gets to have everything resolved. And if there's any kind of splinter federation or any other kind of league, maybe I'll be interested in that. I mean, if I'm the world champion, we'll see what happens. But the interesting thing with this last show for the JRPL, All Out, going all out, it's full circle in so many ways. With this match, where I challenge JRPL, I will be the first Jobber Radio host to actually challenge for the world title. No one else did. Bomber was Ultra-Violent champion and Road Warrior champion. Everybody knows how Lee and I were tag champions, but so were Matt and I. I also had the Road Warrior title. I even made up the Canadian title. And that's it. Nobody ever went after the world title. So that will be a major milestone for us if I win. And as far as for title shots go, I haven't had many, but I've won most of them the first time out. First time Lee and I went for the tag titles, we won. We didn't win the second time. The first time Matt and I went for the tag titles, we won. First time I went for the Road Warrior title, I won. Sure, all of my 2 tag title reigns only had 1 successful defense. I lost the Canadian title the first match and didn't win it back on the second. And the same with the Road Warrior. Won it and lost it. But my track record, JD, is something that you need to be very, very cautious of. And yeah, I've had the great record on the main shows. What about the house shows? Well, All In, Double or Nothing, I won at both of those. So I've got a strong case for this show too. And I have 2 wins over you. I beat you twice. You were unconscious the last time we faced. Now you're the world champion. And you're holding it for me. Now, the full circle aspect of this is very interesting because 1 year ago, at SummerSlam, I thought Lee died. And 1 year later at SummerSlam, I had to face him myself and finish the job, metaphorically. And I did. 1 year ago, after SummerSlam, I was lost. I didn't know where I was going. And I faced Tigress. Forgive me, Tigress. I faced Boss. Sorry, Tigress took the title. I faced Boss. The world champion, 1 match removed. She lost it at SummerSlam. After a cash-in, no less. And I beat her in the middle of the ring. And if she was the world champion, I would have had a win over the world title holder and probably deserve a shot from it. That set me on the path towards the war, towards Bomber, and towards everything that happened from there, with losing everything with Redhead, the violence with Lee, and getting the shot that I have now. So now here we are 1 year later, after that first match that set me on this path, and I'm facing the world champion at All In, All Out. So history does have a funny way of repeating things, and history likes to work with momentum and see records change. And I was Road Warrior champion for 5 days, which is not the shortest reign, but it's pretty short. The Finn was world champion for all of 2-3 minutes, and presumably, depending how long my celebration would be, I might be champion for even less. But I told everybody I deserve this title. I deserve this shot. And now I have it. Against someone I've beaten twice. And I know there's respect. We shook hands and you said that you've got my back. Your faction does. But I work alone. And you have no idea how happy it makes me to have worked alone this entire time to be able to come through the darkness as a world title contender. No factions. No nothing. I've gone through the war. I've gone through the teams. I've seen everything. Yeah, Redhead and I tried something. But when it's all said and done, here I am standing alone, ready to take on the world. Except the world is with me. Those fans, you can hear them. You're a fan favorite as well, but you know they're behind me. Now, Chicago won't be the same as Toronto, obviously. But Chicago is where this new side of me started. And they're the ones that set me on this path of really being the fan favorite. So I'm returning home again. And my family was with me at SummerSlam. My dad, sisters, nieces and nephews. But not my mom. No, she passed on August 31st, 2009. All Out is on August 31st, 2019. 10 years to the day, I'll make her proud too, by becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. JD, I don't believe in destiny being foretold and being an absolute that will just happen. I believe in making it, taking it, and creating your own. Obviously, that's been working for me. So, the final thing people will see from the JRPL is me holding up the world title. And if we move on to some other federation, if anybody else wants to start something up, well, lawyers will be involved, contracts will be discussed. We'll see what happens for the world champion. Normally, I'll now talk about what happens if I lose. If I lose, my career's over against Lee, or I'll bounce back, or I'll do something else. But there is no tomorrow, JD. This is it. This is the one shot, the only shot. There is no lose. There is no if. There is no tie, no draw. I have to win. You don't understand. I have to. And I know you've got your faction to help you do whatever it takes. I've been doing it on my own for a long time now, and it's working better for you. With your little team, it's working better for me with everyone on mine. They're going to cheer you. They're going to cheer me. They're going to like the match. They're going to go back and forth. It's going to be a knockdown and drag out. But I'm going to take your head off and you're going to be asleep again. And you're going to wake up hearing my music with the crowd cheering and those bright lights shining down on you, glinting off of my JRPL World Championship. And when you get up, I'll shake your hand, and we'll give everybody a very happy ending to the JRPL, the way it should be. That's it. If I lose, you'll shake my hand and all this stuff. I will not lose. There is no if. There is no when. You will fall as you have, and I will be the world champion. Even if it's for 5 minutes. It'll be mine. That's it. That's all I've got.